Welcome to part two. We're joined by Terry. Uh, the Donalds, the two Donalds.
Ah,
Hey,
eh?
hey, hey, listen, I watched the Netflix thing. It's called The Apprentice. It's a biopic on Trump. 2 hours, 3 minutes. Absolutely brilliant. Have you seen it?
Nah, you know me. I don't watch a lot of TV.
I think he tried to ban it, Trump, but they won't. He couldn't ban it anyway. It's a fantastic film. It's doing really well. It's gone viral. The film. It's one of them that goes under the radar. A bit like Shawshank Redemption.
You just like that because it's about jail.
Yeah, pardon?
You just like Shawshank because it's about jail.
Yeah, I like Shawshank Redemption, but I watched Angels with Dirty Faces other night. James Cagney, 1938.
Yeah.
Thought that was brilliant. What do you hear? What do you say? I like that one. I thought it was brilliant. Uh, but I'm the only person in the house that likes to watch black and white films. Nobody else gets it. But usually because I'm stoned anyway off at the time, aren't I? So I watch out.
You see it in color anyway.
I see it in colour. I'm a telemonger, aren't I? When I get set down, when I get settled. But you've just sent me a video, Terry. Who was that in video with Eubank Jr.?
Yeah. So he's
What's
saying that
happened?
like he's got some kind of health issue. He hasn't gone into detail what the health issue was, but what he's basically said is he's not boxing again till he's 100%. Now I don't know what that means. We'd like more clarity on that. But if this is the case, why was he allowed in the ring?
Well, people are saying he had a big tax bill to pay, and he owed money to Vegas casinos and various other people. And Lardybar's been living on the hog and all fur coat, no knickers, and basically he had loads of money to pay out. So he's gonna have to fight again, isn't he?
Weird, isn't it? Because he doesn't strike you as a guy that would live like that.
No, he doesn't, does he?
Always strikes as a guy who's kind of controlled and self-assured and will live within his means. But maybe it's just an image.
Well, he should manage. He shouldn't live beyond your means. That's what my old man always used to tell me. Don't live beyond your means, Russell. Tony
Yeah.
Bellew's come out and he said he'd beat Andre Ward at £200. What would you think to that?
I've stood next to Andre Ward at 200 pounds.
Yeah,
He's not doing that at all.
no,
He
no.
he is not doing that at all.
Hmm.
Maybe that's the next Creed film.
Maybe that's the next what?
Maybe that's the next Creed film. Um, Stuntman Danny Wheeler versus Pretty Ricky Conlon.
Listen, do you know what? I think Bellew just likes the sound of his own voice. Me, I mean, I seen Barry Hearn slate him for being biased about Matchroom and saying that he'll go to the opening of an envelope. And he looked like he'd had a few to drink, that Barry Earn. He was there with that Jez Harden, his minder driver. But I see he said, he'll go to the opening of an envelope. No, you was so biased towards Matchroom. And even Eddie's coming out saying it now. Even they know it's going above and beyond cringiness, isn't it? You
He's just
think?
loyal to the firm.
Well, do you know when you've got Bellew coming out talking about the Ben Whitaker and Darren Barker saying we had a lucky escape there and blah. Who's we? Matchroom. Well, Matchroom have now signed him now, and they've all changed the tune now, haven't they? From when the other kid had him, Adrian Mole at Sky. Well, he's at BBC now, anyway, not for much longer. Uh, the narrative changed very quickly, didn't it? You know. So, do you think Ben Whitaker's going to be a superstar, Terry?
You know,
Terry, are
sometimes,
you?
Russ,
Go on, yeah, go on.
sometimes you'll drop a really cutting comment, right? And it will just throw me off my train of thought. So I'm just having to pull myself together again.
Well,
Um,
last night when I were on Button Moon about
yeah.
4 a.m., I was jotting these down, and some of the stuff I can't even. I'm not even
I
going to
even
read it
read
out
it.
like it. I'm not going to read it out. I'll be kicked off here very quickly.
I was going to
Uh,
say, look, the thing is, if it wasn't for Matchroom, what would Darren Barker be doing? Do you know what I mean?
Darren Barker, what would he be doing now? He'd be with
Speech
Lee Purdy,
therapist.
doing some scaffolding with Lee Purdy, his mate, wouldn't
Yeah. And then also, look, we never give Nathan Cleverly enough credit, do we? Because he created this modern Tony Bellew character. Because until Bellew wore that Everton tracksuit at that press conference, no one really cared about him, if you think about it. And it was Cleverly saying, I'll take you outside now. And as soon as Bellew flipped, that's when he went viral.
he? Yeah.
And
That's
that
when he
got him,
got the job in Creed, didn't he?
yeah. And that's all down
So
to Nathan Cleverly.
I remember Bellew sitting there on ringside and he was saying to Cleverly, shut up, you've never you never took a belt off a champion, you never beat a champion. And Cleverly turned around and says, I beat you. And he goes, yeah, but I want a champion. And Cleverly goes, yeah, I know you want. Because I was sick, but I was 16 and 0 novice. But, you know, yeah, lad. Well, fair enough, he were a 16 and 0 novice, but 16 and 0, technically, you're not a novice, are you, if you're world ranked at 16 and 0?
And also
You're
with a
not a novice.
deep amateur career as well. People forget he was an amateur a long, long time.
As a heavyweight.
And a super. I think he did the ABAs once at super.
Yeah, so people need to pipe down, but cleverly put him in his place, took him to school at first one, at second one, they got 200 grand a piece, and Eddie walked away with 1 million out of a pay per view. So it just showed you how much people bought into that. You remember they were ramming it down our throats for months, weren't they? Super Bean and all the rest of them.
Well, they tried to recreate what happened in the first fight, but you can't. Like that was an accident. I mean, they thought they could just replicate that. It didn't work.
Okay. Spotty Frank at every opportunity in every video that he's doing, and I'm not going to name the YouTube channels. There's 8 or 9 of them that go on. It's the same group of people. There's a group of about 15 people that they work with. It's the circle. They're not going to have too big a circle, but if you're flying 15 people to all these events, putting them up and all that, you're guaranteed exposure. Now, Spotty Frank, every interview is going on about how Adrian Mole spunked 32 million and look at his stable. Well, look at Matchroom's UK roster and look how much money they spunked at DAZN's. But nobody's mentioning that, are they, on these channels? Why is that, Terry?
No, the part of the money got spunked on them.
Well, yeah, it's because it's not their money. They're not happy unless they're spunking it. You know, we're going to give you £1 million to fight him, mate, even though you usually get 200 grand. Yes, please, but we want X amount kickback. But you're still getting more than what you would have got. We know it goes on, don't we? Allegedly. You know. I mean, what sort of sport is this where people are putting bids in, right, to win purse bids, and the purse bid isn't what that fighter's getting their fighter? What is it then? What's going on here? Who's controlling game here? Tails wagging dog in it. Boxing's the only sport, and I've always said this, where the lions, who are the fighters, are frightened of the rats, and they're the promoters. Am I right? I can't remember being in Dennis's office once, and when Dennis has gone, yeah, the show didn't do so good. This is what you're getting. They've gone, all right, cheers, Dennis. You know, they just want to get something, don't they? And I thought, well, why are these fit blokes, boxers here, not jumping up and just punching Big Ron all around his office? Because I'd be like, oh, God.
But
Here we
wait,
go.
why
So,
would you though?
well, because you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you, are you? I guess that's why the Lions are scared of the rats. It's the only sport. You wouldn't have this in football, would you? The players have got a bit more power now than what they did have back in the day. Do you remember?
Yeah, but even now, think about Raheem Sterling. Like they just got Raheem Sterling on 300 grand a week, and he's kicking rocks. That's all he's doing. Just taking his son to the Arsenal academy, watching him play, and that's his life right now.
He can't get it team, can he?
Well, Maresca doesn't want him in the team, and they're paying like 300 odd grand to just have him not play for anybody.
Yeah, but he's still having to train though, isn't he?
Yeah, but what do you train from 9 till 11, Russ?
And then you just go on.
Yeah,
He must be spewing. Why don't somebody come in and buy him then? Is it because he's on that much money?
and also like remember he started off really young, right? He started off at 17,
Yeah.
so he's got a lot of miles for a 32-year-old.
He was unplayable at one point, wasn't
Yeah, after he left Liverpool, he was unplayable.
he? Hey, listen, we're on comeback trail, kid. We've just done the Hammers 2-0.
Yeah,
But looking at Adrian Mole's stable, though, Frank Smith might have a point. Spotty Frank. But when I look at Spotty Frank's UK roster, Anthony Joshua, last title in 2020, Crusher Ben not won a belt, Rhino not won a belt, Johnny Fisher has won an area belt, Ben Whitaker's not won a belt. That's it. So where's Eddie's UK roster? Is
yeah,
it
he's
any
got Sky
better?
Nicholson.
And Sky Nicholson. Oh well, sky's the limit for Eddie on that one. Pop pop bang. But Ben Shalom, I personally had a feeling when he first got into boxing, how everybody was sucking up to him and all that. Adam Smith, Super Beans, said, "Oh, he's like my little brother. I'm so protective over him." Well, yeah, all right. Well, good one, Adam Smith, on that. Like you care about Ben Shalom. Horsecock, what same, but I can assure you, behind the scenes, they would have been not very happy with what how it were progressing because when Super Bean were at Sky and Johnny and Eddie were there, they were putting stuff on, weren't they? That they were that peak golden years, wasn't it, for a few years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
but
it's
then
so
remember it got crap pretty quick after that though.
mm, yeah, he got crap really after AJ. You think AJ and Vladimir after that it peaked then, didn't it? I think AJ got found out that night, and it sort of they sort of went in a different direction with Dazone and blah de blah. And AJ always seemed, for me, not being harsh on him because he's achieved greatness, hasn't he? But after Vladimir put hands on him, I think I think that fight finished his career. Me as an high end, what we were hoping he were going to be. That was his first real test, and the geezer were nearly 42, 18-month on couch. And look what happened. They've wrapped him in cotton wool since then, Terry, haven't they? That was nearly 9 years ago. Been wrapped in cotton wool. And 3 years after that, he were done anyway. Wasn't he really? After Pulev, you're not really done. He was. I think the last great bit of AJ were against Pulev when he dug deep, and I think that fight, I think, has been shot since then. I do honestly. I think I got. I know he fought Usyk and that, but I think he was done after that. Me done after Pulev, but I think he were. His confidence were not. You think after Vladimir?
I always say when it comes to heavyweights, there are big men and there are big men. And people, you have to have been around heavyweights and trained them to know this, right? The best heavyweights you'll ever have, Russ, are the ones who walk into a room and they believe they're the biggest dog in the yard. And at any moment, they're ready to prove it, right? Like Lennox will do that. Lennox will walk into a room and believe he's the biggest dog in the yard.
Big
And
lion Lennox.
he'll be like, someone test me. Yeah, even now at 60, he'll be like, someone test me. All right. Joshua's not that guy. In a room
He
full
always
of
seems quite humble around other lions, doesn't he?
well, timid is the word I'd use.
Timid. Well, it's like he's unsure of himself, isn't he? Isn't it really? Olympic
Well, yeah,
medalist, world amateur silver.
no, but if you
You
put
know,
if you put him around a load of people your size, Russ, Joshua will
yeah.
talk loud. He'll do this. He'll do that, right? Because he's like, well, there's nothing coming back here. But put him in with a few 6'7" lumps that can also fight. Man, he'd be quiet as a mouse.
I bet he's humble in David Hayes' presence because he's not bothered about letting his hands go, whether he's in a restaurant or a fucking nightclub, is he, David Hay? He is a bad dude, isn't he?
Now David's not
David
really
Hay
a.
in his prime, a prime David Hay absolutely writes off a prime Joshua. Do you believe that? I fucking do. I
Yeah, it's a
believe he
3 round
writes
job.
him off, mate. I believe Davy Day, uh, as a when he beat Mormac that night as a cruiserweight would have beat the best ever Joshua as a heavyweight. Joshua as a heavy, Hay coming in at 14-4. I'll say 15 stone. He would have lit him up. Do you think?
David Haye coming in at 13 stone would have knocked Joshua out.
Sparko, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Sparko. Bombay Dave's piped up, going on about Dalton Smith's opponent and blah de blah, wants running hard at sport and all that. It's the same as when Canelo got done in it. But then when Eddie signed Canelo, they were all wanting selfies with Canelo, weren't they? Is that double standards from Bombay Dave, considering Opie Price has been out at ring 26 months and we don't know what's happening with him? There's no updates.
Do you know what? Who cares about people failing drug tests anymore? I don't think anyone cares, do they?
After this Conor Benn thing, it's really opened everybody's eyes to the sport. I mean, there's a lot of people who email me, even them whose numbers I've lost. Need to email me. I'll put your number in my new phone. But I just think that the Conor Benn situation, people have gone, wow. I mean, I saw that Joe Gallagher interview on Boxing Now with that girl on YouTube. And he just says, well, what sort of message does this send out here? We've got a two-time drug cheat. He's not proved his innocence, and he's being allowed to fight and earn millions and millions of pounds. What's he had? Is it 18 million off two fights, Conor Benn? He were already a
Yeah.
millionaire before that, so he's had 18 million. Uh, and now he's saying he's an eight-figure fighter. That's 10 million a fight. So they can only be gimmick fights now because he's not going to get that in eliminators, is he? Or British title fights, is he? So what sort of message does it send out to the next generation who are watching boxing? Because when I go into my analytics now, when I first started 8 years ago, I look at the age groups that
Mm.
were watching me and that were watching boxing in particular. So I'd like set targets. And I now look at that age group, the lowest age one, the low teen years. They're not watching boxing at all. So what are
No.
they doing? And the older people is dropping off because that generation's they're passing away, aren't they? Father time catches up with, but the younger generation they're not watching. So I fear for boxing me at the moment. I really do. And this is leading me into this next question. Is it becoming like Simon Cowell did with music? Is that what Eddie's and certain other promoters have done to the sport at the moment, do you think?
Show me your incentives and I will show you your behavior. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that. Hearn's incentive is to make as much revenue as possible so they can sell Matchroom, right? So
Yeah.
they will take Joshua to the highest bidder. They don't care about TV or views. They'll take him to the highest bidder. Conor
Yeah.
Benn will go to the highest bidder. They'll all go to the highest bidder now. That's where we're at, Russ. And that's the incentive. Hearn is not to be the greatest promoter of all time. That's not his incentive. If it was, he'd make different fights. It is break even on the shows no one cares about and make a load of money on the shows people care about. That's it.
Well, I'm just looking here. I said about what Eubank saying he's coming back, but it's not going to be at that weight. It's going to be at a safe one. Do you think they're going to try and sell that at 168 and Conor Benn's going to have to kneel to him to get another big payday, and they'll try and sell it?
Nah, I think it's all done now. I think it's done. I think we've got to start asking the board questions around how is someone in the condition he's in. Why was it allowed to happen twice? That's what Robert Smith has to answer. Why was it allowed to happen twice?
Yeah, yeah. Terry, what are we going to say now? Oh, that's it. Fucking wrong button. I'm trying to figure this out. You've probably seen the Gareth A. Davis confrontation with one of Jake Paul's team in front of Jake Paul. Did you see that?
Nah, I don't. I don't watch a lot of that content. I just don't watch it.
I'm going to play this now, but I don't know if it'll pick it up. Now, here we go. Watch this.
You man, wow, wow, what a challenge! Summer from WWE. Hey, you've been doing the other side's work.
Can you hear it?
Man. You know, I'm
Yeah.
down this event, like saying it shouldn't be happening. It's beneath. It's not Eddie Hearn you're talking to now. I know. Listen. No, I think in the UK it wouldn't have been sanctioned. Over here it's different, but because I think the levels are so. I mean, I admire your delusional optimism, your cojones. You are the golden cock. It's as simple as that. No, it's amazing, and he's taking it very seriously because he knows that you can horribly embarrass him if it goes wrong for him. His career is done if he loses. This is a man who's coming in to win, not there to be a lame duck and get knocked out. Right? This is a lot more sanctionable than the stuff that you see in the UK. Now I'm hearing, I've witnessed it today, and how seriously he's taking it, how seriously you're taking it. It's going to be enormous. It's going to be enormous.
Wow. Hang on a minute.
Congratulations. I really appreciate that. No, it's always great to see you. You know we love you. I love you too. All right. We'll be here. We're signed. We're coming.
Man like that. Watch out.
No, he's dangerous. He's dangerous.
No, thank you for coming.
What a challenge, though.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Bob and weave.
Yeah, especially last minute.
You're going to do bare knuckle afterwards? Well, I'm here to cover a bare knuckle event. No. First glove, yeah? It's a real sport. What did you see when you looked in his eyes up now?
He's ready. He's intense. Locked in. He's trying to intimidate me, but I'm not intimidated.
You're unintimidatable, aren't you?
You gotta keep that chain.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't give anything.
Gonna win, Gary.
So, that's incredible.
You're gonna win.
You think it's a bigger upset than Buster Douglas if he wins? No, it's the biggest upset in the history of one of the biggest upsets ever in the history of boxing. Jake beats him. Of course. Exactly. But there's something weird about his journey, so who knows? You've got a weird journey.
Yeah.
Like I say, you call it delusional optimism, and that's almost speaking to the universe, isn't it?
God's on my side. God wants me to win this fight.
Jesus.
Fascinating. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Don't let it hurt me, yeah?
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Wow. Now, because I've got this background picture on, you can't see video, but actually, Gareth A. Davis got it put on him by one of Jake Paul's team, and he went up to him, practically got down on his hands and knees, pulled the pants down, and gave them both a reach around.
Yeah, you know. So here's the problem of being on the wrong side of a story. Yeah, you get held to account. You see, when Joshua versus Jake Paul was made,
Yeah.
I was happy. I was happy because, and I stand on this. KSI and Jake Paul, well, KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all said that they'd get into boxing without having to seek acceptance from boxing. And what happened? They did that. They don't need mainstream boxing. Mainstream boxing needs them. Joshua's gone cap in hand, right? People aren't telling the story for what it is. They wanted to fight on one of these turkey cards, right? Either the one in November or December. And Turkey was like, I'm not paying Joshua for an 8-rounder. You crazy, right? And so they were just like, oh, well, what are we going to do next? And they went begging around to Jake Paul. Like, I don't think this fight happens, is my opinion. I don't think it happens. There's no version of Jake Paul that would be good enough to beat Joshua. And I like Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul's done a great job with his career. But like when you're there going toe to toe with Tommy Fury, you know, this is a different level right here.
Oh, it'd be shocking. But Jake Paul, if it doesn't happen, they'll get somebody else in, and he can say he wants to fight anybody who are going to fight Joshua and all this, but he got injured, and now Joshua's gone in a different route, and they're going to meet around the outside, and it can still happen. And he's game and he's durable. He's been in with a Fury. Yeah, I think Tommy Fury schooled him. Let's be honest, he fucking schooled him. You know what I mean?
Look, like I said, I have no problem with Jake Paul doing any of this because he's a YouTuber, right? I have no problem with him hustling. That's his hustle. The real question is why is Eddie Hearn sniffing around? Remember after that he made fun of it. So remember, Hearn made fun of the YouTube stuff. Then he tried to promote was it KSI Logan Paul 2 in America. They realized that Hearn was just killing their brand by being associated with it and that he was too expensive for what he did. So they blew him off, and then he started slating them again. Then they offered Katie Taylor money, so he started blowing them off again. And now he's back there. I mean, nose is firmly in the trough.
Well, wasn't he going to sue Jake Paul at one point, and now we're not
$100
hearing
million
anything. Pardon?
for $100 million.
Yeah, but now we're not seeing anything on any social medias, and nobody's putting out snippets of the court dates and all this. It all seems to have just gone, doesn't it?
There you go.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It's a bit like Eubank, he was suing him. That's gone now, isn't it? Oh, nobody's mentioning no about court dates and all this nonsense. It's all a load of old pony, isn't it?
That's why we love the sport.
This is why we love this sport so much, Johnny. Hey, what's happened to Matt Macklin? We don't see much of him nowadays, do we? Has he been put out to pasture?
Well, Sky aren't doing anything, are they? So there's no Andy Clark either.
Yeah.
And there's no Johnny.
There's no Horsecock, is there?
No Anna Woolhouse.
No, there's no Anna Woolhouse. There's none of them, is there? Ben Shallam's absolutely torpedoed Sky Sports. He's the Albert Trotter of boxing. He sunk the ship. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward, isn't it? Do you think I've been right, Terry, to put it on all these media guys with access? I mean, I do get that's a lot of main comments that I get, and obviously these people are in a position at Talksport where it's really what the traffic goes through there now for the big promoters, doesn't it? So people want to get on Talksport and they want to butter all these guys up on there, don't they? And befriend them and play paddle tennis with them and all that knackers. But when all's said and done, are Talksport good for boxing or bad for boxing, Terry? Yes or no?
Bad.
Bad. It's because they're not telling the proper narrative. They're going in there, putting the narratives out from the promoters, aren't they, to keep them happy and the fighters happy. And it's tired
it's
now,
just
isn't
it's not good enough journalism. Like, it's just pointless. But a lot of it's all pointless anyway.
it? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I hope you're well. How's Rico?
Have you head out for Rico?
No, I've got his number here. I'm going to text him now. You give me his number over there, didn't you?
Yeah, text him,
Got
man.
about 20 numbers in my phone now.
Mate,
Lost
keep it
about-
that way. That's the happiest you'll ever be.
Too many have added that number of it, my number. You know what I mean? So,
Well,
it is
yeah,
what
why
it
do
is.
you keep changing numbers so much? Who are you hiding
Some
from?
fucking clowns end up getting hold of my phone number, don't they, off somebody else, and they keep ringing me 2 a.m. non-stop, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, and all night.
Where are they getting your number from then?
Well, I don't know, mate. This is why I've limited it down now to the 21 numbers now. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Wow.
People get it, don't they? And then they think they're having a bit of fun. And usually when I answer, and if it's on video, they're usually nice as pie then sometimes. And I think, what that about? Be like you when you go to shows and people are going to do this and going to do that, and they come up and they want a selfie with you.
If people are weird. Look, and I know people get offended when we say stuff like this. There's about 80 to 85% of people in boxing fans, who are great people. You'd love to have a beer with them, right? No problem at all. Have a laugh, have a joke, talk some boxing. But you see that 15% that really feel like their voice matters, and it doesn't. Like, no one cares what you think.
You mean like somebody leaving a comment who's been on YouTube 15 years and they've got one subscriber and one video that they've put out? You leave a vile comment and then you say, well, you can have your chance to come on a Zoom if you feel that strongly about it. And then the abuse starts. Then it's, why do I?
But here's the beautiful thing. You spend all that time writing nasty comments. Like, I don't read them. Yeah. Like, once I record this, I just leave it to the boxing gods, man. I'm like, whatever. So if you want to get at me, it can only ever be done face to face. There's no.
Well, you're at your call every other month, aren't you, kid? You're not hard to find.
No, I'm not hard to find at all. You'll see me, weigh-ins, whatever. I'm there. Just say something slick, man. That's it. And I'm not saying this to be a tough guy. I'm just saying we can have a good or a bad conversation. I'm available for all kinds of chats.
You're
But
always right on everything, though, Terry. Nobody can ever win a conversation with you.
yeah, they can. There's some look. There are times when, like, I'll sit there and go, "Do you know what? I was a bit harsh about that." I'm not
Yeah,
afraid to say that, and I've done
that's
it
you.
publicly as well.
That's when you've used had a few beers, though, Terry.
No, you don't hardly drink now, Russ.
Yeah, well, you like a spirit, don't you? Like a brandy, don't you?
Not like I used to. I'm embracing the porky life now.
Hey, listen, most of the abuse I get is off people. In fact, them phone calls, one of them were like, but have you seen that video? You wouldn't say that to Big John Fury's face if you met him. I says, Big John Fury, if when I ever see him, I'm going to give him a big hug and a big kiss.
But wait. But why does another adult man care about what you're going to
To
do
get
with
my
another
number from somebody, to hunt me down and phone me.
and that's the best thing they can say to you.
And it's a bit like Joe Egan when he got my number off somebody and he rung me and then he sent me a letter. Wow, I mean, what on earth? He went all that. And he was saying that I was doing him a favour, getting him PR and that. Well, why weren't you so nice on the phone then, Joe?
Well, yeah.
You know
Why
what
don't
I
you send
mean?
him an invoice?
Yeah, another thing, when he rung Scott up, Brunt getting a bit clever, saying, oh, Scott had obviously he could get a couple of blokes a slap. And he were with him in Hull. And Scott says, well, you're no good in fucking Hull. I'm in Rotherham. Get yourself over here, lad. You know what I mean? Never been seen since. Can't even get his coat off.
Well,
Well,
you
he's
can.
wanted. Yeah, I could get my coat off. I'm all right for my 55, mate. I'm all right for my size and my height. But I'm
Mate,
not big enough to roll around up floor with him, but I won't be threatened of him, mate. As big as he is.
so I tell people, like, when you write those comments and you think you're holding people to account, like, yeah, I'm going to show him. Before you write it, just pause, look at your life, and go, am I where I thought I'd be 10 years ago? If the answer is no, don't write the comment.
Well,
Like,
I'll never get a comment, Terry.
that's fine. No, that's fine. Like, look, and I'm not saying every comment has to be blowing smoke up people's backsides. No, but just like sometimes you'll tell me about stuff people are saying, like, he always shouts with the black fighters. But I look at that and I go, like, if you look at the balance of guys I've trained in the last 15 years, there's a lot of white people in that list. Do you know what I mean? And they've
Yeah,
gone
but
on
you're
to
not going to
win
get
stuff.
credit for that, Terry, though, are you?
Nah, because these people are closet racists, and it makes them feel better about their racism by trying to portray me as the opposite, when in fact I'm one of the forces of unity. And it's like when people tell me that Porky Russ is this racist, and I'm like, do you listen to do you listen to us do videos? I'm like, what do you mean racist? What the hell's
Everybody
wrong with you?
cops it on here, mate. Not just black people, white people cop it as well. But they can call it that, can't they? I've had worse than that said to me. I know I had dog shit through my letterbox, fly tipping on my old car pitch. I've had all that put up with because of Porker's Corner. I'm still
Can
here.
you
Hate me
imagine
like
getting that emotional about
yeah.
a YouTube video?
A YouTube
Like,
video.
mate, get a porn addiction.
Get a porn addiction.
Yeah, get a porn addiction, man. Like, come on.
Go out and smoke a spliff, I say to these people, and go take a bird out.
Yeah, just go touch grass, man. Like,
So,
I'm
so
not
as long
against
as you
people
get
being
proper
negative.
Rizzlers.
Yeah, look, I'm not against people being negative. Yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
talk about an issue, let's talk about an issue. As soon as you start attacking people, number one, if it's online, I'm not going to listen.
Yeah.
If it's in person, then we got to give them the Porky treatment. Get it sent round corner.
Mate.
Drove an hour to get here.
Off. I've done that a few times over the years. I've come a cropper a few times as well.
It don't matter. I tell people this. In life, if you only fight because you know you're going to win, that's not a real fight. Like, there's got to be jeopardy. You know what I mean?
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. You got to get filled in a few times.
What's wrong with it? It does happen, mate.
Yeah. You know when you're just lying there and you always just got to make peace with the fact that you're fucked.
What, like I'm flying through air in a pub? I'm
Yeah,
thinking, oh God, I've been here before. Any second now, I'm going to be on that table with all them glasses. Ugh.
and it all happens in slow motion. You're like, fuck it. You're like,
Yeah,
when's
it
this
does.
gonna
Yeah, yeah, it
stop?
happens in slow motion, doesn't it? Yeah, it's Danny Christie made a good point in one of his old videos I watched the other day. He said sometimes some people, when they get hit, they either fire back or some people go into like a coward mode. And it's either one or other, isn't it? Do you
You
know
know
what
what's
I mean?
interesting? Women fire straight back.
Women do, don't they? Windmillers, aren't they? Windmilling like a bitch.
As soon as you see a woman get hit, their first instinct is, "I'm not having this."
Mm,
You kind of admire that. You're like, "Go on."
yeah, yeah, that's true, mate. That's true. Right. Well, listen, we've had a good chat, haven't we, Terry? I hope you're
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I hope you're well, mate. I hope the family's all good and all that,
Yeah, I hope you're well. Have we been eating well?
mate. Yeah, man. A lot more salads. I
Yeah.
still got too much Dr. Pepper in my diet, mate. If I'm being honest, but the salads are kicking in. A bit of tuna in the salad. Sometimes have it raw. It keeps me healthy.
Good man. I'm glad to hear it. Okie dokie. Well, listen,
Ah,
keep in touch and you
yeah.
take care, pal.
But yeah, keep supporting boxing.
Don't have nightmares.
Mate. See you later.
See you, mate. Bye
Bye.
bye. Well, that was Terry from Zimbabwe originally. Emigrated to London as a kid. That's good, that, isn't it? Isn't that good? And done well. Sheffield Uni, Bank of England he works for, or some big merchant bank thing, whatever. I think, where's that other place he started out at? Was it Bear Stearns or something? It's if you like them stock exchange companies and all that. Personally, I think them sort of people rule the world, don't they? Them bankers. So, but I don't usually have much time for him. But Terry's a good guy. That's about it. And don't forget, he trains fighters at Fitzroy Lodge for free, amateur. All right. Puts his time in so he can have an opinion. So people need to stop giving him loads of stick on here. All right. Saying that he always supports black fighters. I don't believe that. That's the narrative everybody goes with. So be it. Okie dokie. Max, I'm still not talking to you. You're too fat. Pop, pop, bang.